What the heck are partial quotients and how do you use them? Either you're a student that's trying to learn partial quotients, or you're a parent that's trying to help your child with their homework that's on partial quotients. Whatever the case, by the end of this video, you will know what partial quotients are and how to use them. Not only will you know how to use them, you will know the why behind why we use them. So let's get started. First, we need to talk about vocabulary. And I know this is math. Why do we need to talk vocabulary? Well, because there's vocabulary in the word partial quotients. Let's talk about what a quotient is. A quotient is the answer to a division problem. So you have the dividend and the divisor, and then you have the quotient. Partial quotients are going to kind of chip away at the dividend with the divisor to find the quotient. So we're doing little mini quotients to get where we need to go. And if that doesn't make sense to you, that is okay. That's what we're about to talk about next. We are going to turn on our whiteboard so that I can show you a division problem. Okay, we are going to talk about a very simple division problem first. I have put on the screen 16 divided by 4. And I just want to talk about the parts of this division so that we are all on the same page. If you are good with division, you can skip forward to the next part. So 16, I made 16 objects here, and I'm going to see how many groups of 4 are in 16. There's two different ways to think about division. We can think about it as finding how many groups are in a number, or we can think about it as splitting that number into that many groups. So we could think about it as 16 split into 4 equal groups, or we could think about it as 16 and how many groups of 4 are in 16. We're going to think about it in that way. So we're going to see how many groups of 4 are in 16. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 groups of 4 in 16. So our quotient is 4. Now, it seems simple enough. Let's make it a little bit harder. I am going to make a bigger division problem. So let's do 273 divided by 3. This is a lot bigger, isn't it? I'm going to put 273 on the screen. So we have 200 and then a 70. This is going to be a lot of tens, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then 3. These don't all have to be together, but I'm just going to put them together for the sake of having them together. I'm seeing how many groups of 3 are in here. If I didn't like the other one where I'm pulling out 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3, that's going to take a long, long time. So instead, I'm going to think in bigger groups. I'm going to think, well, 3 times 10 is 30. So I know that every 30 that I have here, that is 10 threes. So I'm going to do, here's a group of 30. That's 10 threes. Here's another group of 30. That's 10 threes. 60 is going to be 20 threes, right? Because 20 is the double of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's a group of 20. This is another group of 20. 4. And then 5, 6. This is another group of 20. Another group of 23s. And then here's a group of 10, 20, 30. So that's a group of 10 threes. and then 3 more. I probably could have done this in less steps, but I wanted to show where we might start. Is we're just trying to find how many groups of 3 are in that number. And a visual is a good way to start. But a lot of times where we're going to see partial quotients is with numbers. So I'm going to get rid of this visual. 5 base 10 blocks. And I'm going to write this as a equation. So 273 divided by 3. Our divisor always goes on the outside. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do some multiplication to basically chip away at my dividend to see how many times I need to take away groups of 3 until I'm at 0. Kind of like what we did on the visual where we're grouping and grouping and grouping until everything has been covered. So let's start out with 3 times 20 because that's what we were talking about before. 3 times 20 is 60. I'm going to take 60 away from 273 and see what's left. 213. I could take away another 60. 3 times 20 is 60. So I'm going to take away another group of 23s. Let's see. 11. This is going to be a 5. I can do another 3 times 20. Take away another 60. 93. I could take away another 3 times 20. 60. Now I'm at 33. I know that 3 times 11 is 33. So I'm going to take away 33, and now I'm at 0. Now what do we do next? So this is how many groups of 3 are in 273. These are the groups of 3 that we used. And so I'm going to highlight them and add them up. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 91. There are 91 groups of 3 in 273. Let's do it again. And this time we're going to try to use the least amount of moves possible. So let's do 576 divided by 2. We're going to keep the divisors pretty small just so that we can calculate more easily and understand the process. Think about something you can multiply 2 by that could get you pretty close to 576. So I'm thinking, 2 times 100 is 200. 2 times 200 would be 400. That gets us pretty close. So I'm going to do 2 times 400. That's 400 groups of 2. Oh, not 400. 2 times 200. 200 groups of 2 is 400. We're going to subtract this. This is going to get us 176. Now I'm thinking, 2 times what could get me pretty close to 176? I know that 2 times 60 would be 120. I'm going to try that. I'm going to take 120 away and see how close it gets me. Now I'm at 56. 2 times 60 is going to be too big. What about 2 times 20? That's going to be 40. So now we have 16. I know that 2 times 8 is 16. So I'm going to take that away. Now we have to count up how many groups of 2 there were. So we are going to take everything that we multiplied by 2 and add it up to get our quotient. So that's 200, 60, 70, 80, 288. And I could check myself by doing 288 times 2 to make sure that I got it correct, because multiplication is the inverse or the opposite of division. So I should be able to multiply 288 by 2 because that's 288 groups of 2 and it should get us 576. So let's do that now. Let's just check ourselves. This is going to be 16, 16, 17, 4, 5. Yes, 576. We did it. Here is what this looks like with bigger numbers. 636 divided by 12. 12 is a two-digit number. You may know your 12 stacks, but it's a little bit bigger. My first move, I want to try to get pretty big, close to 636. Let me think of 12 times, I know that 12 times 5 is 60. So 12 times 50 would be 600. So that's going to get me pretty close because it's just going to leave me with 36. And then I know 12 times 3 is 36. And that gets me to 0. My quotient is 53. It takes 53 groups of 12 to make 636. That is how you use partial quotients to do division. If you have questions, I always answer them in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and you want more tips on how to help your child with their Common Core mathematics, you can give me a like and give me a follow and check out all the other videos that I have. See you next time.